Hello, and welcome to Moms with Yarn, episode 12. I'm Sharon, also known as Bronx Knitter on Instagram, and Sharon V on Ravelry.
And I'm Tracy, TV McCarthy on Ravelry. Welcome, everybody.
Hi, everybody. We're here 2 weeks later with stuff to show, like always.
Yep.
What have you got finished?
Oh, I've not been doing anything. I'm just horsing around, just
Yeah?
hanging out. No, just hanging around. Just kidding. I've been doing a
It's
lot
like,
of stuff.
don't make it the Sharon V show.
I have a finished object. It
Okay.
is Plucktember, so I had to bring it. So I finished a hat.
Woo!
So this is called Jack. It's by Amy Miller. And it's made out of the plucky knitter Bella worsted, and it's a really cute hat. It's really just, I would say it's on the medium scale in terms of difficulty. It starts out with a rib, a basic rib, and then it has you do these little, I don't know how I like, other than calling it like little nubs every so often. But it's just like a really interesting detail, and it makes it just a really fun knit. And it's like a slouchy, just beanie. I love it. I love the color that I chose. She actually has it in like a dark charcoal, which I was hoping that I had the Bella worsted in. But when I saw somebody knit it up in this color, and I was like, wow, that's really nice because the people that I knit for generally wear, black or dark coats, like charcoaly color coats. So I said this would be really nice accent color. So I knit this up for my children's sitter, the sitter that comes to watch my children. It was her birthday last week, so I knit this up for her. And it's
Yay!
so nice. It's really, I posted in the group that I now understand the whole bellow.
Eat my
It's I'm
words.
totally eating, and it's so funny. Pattern Whisperer said, "Not only are you going to eat them, but you're going to choke on it," and I'm totally choking. So yeah, it was a really fun knit.
So is that a paid for pattern?
It's a paid for pattern, but it was one of her patterns that she offered up for discount. So I purchased it at the discount. I think I got it for like 50% off, which to me was totally worth it. I would actually recommend it even if it was full price. I would absolutely knit it again. It's one of those that I think I would, knit up and maybe gift to someone else. I think the only thing that I would change next time is if I was going to knit it in the bellow again, because it is so drapey, I'd probably go down a needle or even two sizes smaller, um, just to make it a little bit tighter. Keep the drape, but maybe make it a little bit tighter. And then maybe I wouldn't, if I was going to not use the bellow, I would probably stay with the same needle size because it is, true to size. So I love it. So that's my finished objects. What about you? Did you finish anything?
Yes. Well, let's start with the obvious. Do.
Oh my gosh, you still have stuff left? It's
Yes,
like the
this is
bottomless
Miss
pit.
Beb's Yummy and String Theory's Blue Stocking. And
It's
you remember that I pulled the needle out of my sock, yeah?
Yes, I do.
I was so upset.
I
So,
think that's never going to end. That yarn is just going to keep going.
transition socks. Can you see?
I can. Yep.
And these are them.
Ah, yay.
Dun, da, 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 da.
I love them.
Sadly, you will be seeing both of these yarns again in something else because I gotta make them run out. Okay, so these were the transition socks. Drop my book. And I made them with US number 1.5. And I said, Miss Babs's Candied Pecan and String Theory Blue Stocking is in dirigible. That's right. Okay, whatever. Enough about that. You've seen these forever. They're done. They're a holiday gift. And that's that. And then, you remember the yarn we won? Regia 6 Fadig?
Yes. I was just looking at that today.
Yeah. Well, it is a sport weight, which is explains the 6 Fadig. Dun da da da.
Oh, I
Da
love,
da 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 da
I didn't
da.
know it was self-striping. Did you?
Yeah.
That's really nice. I'm so glad we picked that
None of
color.
this stuff is washed. This was the stuff that Tracy was going to disown me for.
I'm so glad I did.
Aren't you glad we're friends?
I am.
So it was off by a bit because, of course, I could not make my cuffs match. So, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the Regia plain vanilla socks. I used a size 2 because it is a sport weight, but I could have used a 1 to make them more dense, to
Okay.
make them a better pair of winter socks.
Hmm.
What do you think about that? Pretty
I
good, huh?
like it. I like it.
Okay, that's the end of that. So then I found in my stash some one skein of Rowan felted tweed, although
Okay.
I don't think you can see any tweed in here. It just looks like gray and white.
Yeah, I was gonna say the white looks a little tweedy.
Yeah, they're the black specks. I don't know what happened to them. And this yarn is extremely hairy. So I made the weather hat.
Oh, I was gonna say, is that a Megan Williams
Yeah.
hat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love her patterns.
And
I don't think I've ever knit any of her stuff,
you,
but
you should.
I know her
The
patterns
patterns
are
are
really,
written so clearly. It's so
yep,
beautiful to work with.
yeah,
And so this is the hat.
so nice.
This is the second one I made. The first one I took to California with me and gave it to
Yep.
my brother. And it was such a nice hat that I couldn't resist making it again.
Hmm.
So it only takes about a day to make. This size is large, and I made them on a US size 8, which is 5.0 millimeter.
Okay.
So I was happy with that. And goodness knows who can't use a hat.
Nice. Is it for you?
Ta-da! Dun, da, da, da. Not for me, but yay! Okay. None of my stuff has been washed yet, so I can do
Yeah.
whatever I want. So then, because, when hat frenzy hits, you can't say no. So what I made was the Harley hat by Tin Can
Oh,
Knits.
another one I want to make.
This is the hat with the
I like,
garter. It
yes.
has the garter on the front.
Is that the same yarn?
No. This is some hand spun yarn.
Okay.
It's called Mash'em. It's a brown gray kind of color.
Okay.
And I used this fiber was from a club I was in with Paradise Fibers.
It looks kind of fuzzy.
It is fuzzy.
Yeah. Does it have like a halo? It's nice.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but anyhow, this hat is way cool, and I made this also on a US 8. Not for me, but dun, da, da, da. This is a real beanie hat.
Yeah, it is. It's
It's gonna
nice.
work out great for my niece. We all have little ant heads, so
Yeah. That's
that
cute.
is that for my
You
finished
really had a
objects.
lot of
Well,
finished
when
objects.
you make hats, they take a day or two when you have time to sit down and do them.
Yeah.
So that was really fast. But
Did you knit them on the plane? Because you went to California,
yeah,
right? Like, what were you knitting on the plane?
the
Did you
Regia
knit on the?
socks.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And you had no problems with the TSA?
They made me throw my lotion away, but they let me keep my 6-inch needles because I could have drowned somebody in hand lotion, but I couldn't stab them with my needle now, could I?
So good. It's so random because you have like the circulars, like you could like choke somebody.
Like use them like nunchucks, like that, you mean?
Uh,
I don't know why my needles were not considered a clear and present danger, but my lotion was, so
I know.
whatever.
Oh, whatever.
And I really needed it because I fried in California.
Yeah, wow.
It was terrible because you don't even know that it's
I
hot,
know. Yeah, because it's so,
and then you just burn up.
yeah.
So that's it for me and my finished objects. What have you
So,
got in works in progress?
so I picked up and knit like 3 rows on this. I don't know if you guys remember this. This is my Georgia on My Mind.
I loved those when I made them.
Yeah, they were nice. I mean, I'm not in love with them, so I haven't really been knitting on them, and I just dropped like probably 8 or 9 stitches. Um, I just found out that I was listening to the Knit Girls. I don't know if you listened to their. I've been behind on their podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Something with the RSS feed. Um,
Yeah, because they were on Blip and they now are not on Blip, but they're still on iTunes.
yeah, so for some reason it wasn't coming through my feed, so I had to update it, or I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
some issue. So I listened to one of their back episodes, and um, Leslie mentioned that one of her dear friends had recently passed away, and it was her friend um, Ro, and it was the woman who she wrote this pattern for. And I actually knew her not well at all. I only knew her of from when she was when I first started the Remembering Remy group. She must have heard about what I was doing, and she posted um, super generously. She had bagged up these little tiny, I guess, like just from her stash, like little tiny Ziploc bags. Must have been like, if I say 30, like that was probably a small amount. Like it seemed like just so many little bags of yarn, and offered up to people in the Remembering Remy group to ship out free of charge. Anybody who wanted to help out in the group, these little bags of yarn, if they were willing to knit up the preemie caps for Remembering Remy. And I just remember her not knowing me. Like she had no idea who I was. I didn't know who she was. She knew of the group through me knowing Laura. And again, Laura didn't know me from a hole in the wall. She just heard of what I was doing, and, thought it was, a nice cause. And so I just remember her kindness. And, again, for that, I'll be forever grateful. So when I heard about her passing, um, for me, I just thought that it would, you know, I just wanted to pick these back up. Um, so I knit a couple rows, and I figured I would just, occasionally just pick these back up and finish them. I was contemplating ripping them back and just not knitting them, but I don't, I just think I'm just going to keep on knitting them until they're done.
Okay, so what yarn is that?
So this is the Diabolical Super Ego. It's a sport weight yarn. I'm knitting them on size ones. And it's in the Sid Vicious colorway. It's a really pretty colorway. It's a great yarn. Um, it's on the thicker side. I would say it's not really a sport weight yarn. I would say it's more like a heavy fingering. It's really cute. I like it. I really like the pattern. It's very well written. I like the seed stitch up the side. I've always been a fan of seed stitch. It was the very first stitch that I learned, and it was the stitch that I used to knit the 3 blankets for my babies when they were born. So it's near and dear to my heart. So I knit that, and then for those of you who do follow us in the group, I ripped back my Skype socks. This was the ball of yarn that I pulled back. And then I decided to do a vanilla latte sock, or like a little um, spin on the vanilla latte. So I've knit back to pretty much where I was on the Skype sock.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on the heel. I'm not up to where I need to, do the flap. I'm doing the flap right now. So
Mm-hmm.
not too bad. This is the Vesper sock in the Pop and Fizz colorway.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I'm making some headway. I knit this on the train, so I'm not really getting a whole lot of work done on it, but that's okay because it's just, a couple days a week,
Mm-hmm.
an hour or so on the train.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I also started one other project. This is the Bellow Twist cabled slouch. Um, and it's by a baby smile knits is the person who knit it or who designed it. And it's basically like a cable beanie with a pom-pom on the top.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm knitting this out of, again, the Plucky Knitter Bella worsted, and it's the Atticus colorway. So it's like a natural, I would say. It's a club colorway.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten about this far.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really pretty. It's going pretty fast because there's only like, one row of cable and then like,
Mm-hmm.
15 rows of stockinette or so. So it's really nice.
That's nice. Is it easy?
I like it. Yeah, it's a pretty easy knit. I
Mm-hmm.
like it. Yeah. So it's not bad so far.
Not too bad.
Too bad. Not too bad. So I like it. It's really, really, it's a really good knit.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
For anything else?
that's all I got.
Okay. For works in progress, I am doing. My project is stuck in the bag. I'm doing another pair of Mystic Spiral socks because
Oh, nice.
I went to Nitty City.
I saw.
Yeah, and I couldn't resist this yarn. It's opal.
Oh,
They're
okay.
they're Kleiner prints, the little prints. Yeah, that's the colorway, opal. And I'm using my Carbons US number ones. And this is how far I
Oh,
got.
nice.
Now I thought the way this yarn is self-striping, but
Hmm.
each one of the colors has another color inside of it, except for
Yeah.
this like blue
Yeah.
kind of color. The rest of the stripes have another color in it. So the orange has a color in it.
Okay.
This blue has purple in it.
Yep.
All of the colors. So the spiral part of this sock is really getting lost in the sock.
Yeah. Yep.
But I think if I had to make a plain vanilla sock, I would probably shoot myself.
Yeah.
So I'm starting on the second spiral,
Okay.
and this is sock number one.
Hmm.
So this is Mystic Spiral Socks by Josh Ricks. This is my second pair, and I'm keeping them both because I said so.
Nice.
And the other thing is, of course, my spinning.
How do you like the opal socks? Are they soft? Are they
They're softer than the Regia sock.
okay?
Not the sport weight that we won,
Yep.
but the thin sock yarn is rough. The opal is not soft, but it's not nearly as rough. It doesn't feel like hard wearing, like
Hmm.
you know what I mean? I don't
Yep.
know how to describe it. It's softer. It works the same. Hopefully it'll last as long and the color will stay true. But this is the first time I'm using it, so
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about the opal.
yeah, it
I've never
is.
used it. I'd like to. I
And it,
also haven't heard about. I've heard a lot of good things about the Regia, but
yeah.
I've never used it. That would be one that I'd like to try as well.
Well, Regia stepped up their game in this game that we won,
Yeah.
so I can say that.
Okay.
So now, um, my friend Juanita, she's a friend now. She's been to my house.
Nice.
Um, had donated some Little Barn exclusive yarn.
Hmm.
It's just 100% wool. She'd used up half of um, the wool to make herself to spin some.
So he's sitting on the couch doing a movie, and he's not letting me. I don't, and I, for some reason, I didn't hear.
Okay.
He's not doing it because he's watching a movie,
Okay.
and then I can't find my homework.
Okay. It was on the kitchen table, right? Wasn't it on the kitchen table?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was on the kitchen table last we saw it. So can you look on the kitchen table? Can you shut the door, please? And be quiet because Remy's sleeping.
That's what happens.
She's tattling on my husband because she can't find her homework. And she's telling me that Daddy's sleeping on the couch and he's not helping me find my homework.
Uh-oh. That's the way dads babysit with their eyes closed.
Sorry.
It's okay. When you're a mom, stuff happens.
And she knows I'm doing this. I'm telling you,
She
she
wants
wants
to
to
be
be
in the
on
movie.
TV.
I get it.
That's my middle daughter. It's Reese. Can
Oh,
you hear her when she's talking?
yeah,
Oh, you can. Okay.
yeah. So, Juanita donated what was left of the yarn, and I spun it up.
Oh, that's so pretty. I really like it. What are you going to do with it?
I'm gonna apply it, and then I'm gonna see what kind of yardage I get, and then I'll know what I'm gonna do. Cause you know how you don't know anything until you know
Yeah.
what you're working with.
What
But
will it be, like a fingering or like
it'll
what will it
probably be less than light. It'll probably be a light fingering, but it
be?
probably won't be enough for socks.
Okay.
And it's not soft yet.
Mm.
So I didn't have anything to wind it off on,
I
so
was gonna say like
I put it on the lotion bottle that the TA didn't make me throw in the garbage. This is the one they let me keep.
oh my gosh.
Sickening. So anyway, I like it. I'm gonna use it. Even if I only use it for a part of a sock, I could always make something
Yeah.
Fair Isle and
Yeah.
mix it in. I have some black yarn.
Yep.
And I have another project which I didn't bring downstairs, so I'm not even going to bring it up, but I'll show it to you next week. But I think I started my Rhinebeck sweater, which is the lead into working on my friend Audra's sweater,
Mm.
which I was going to do over the summer, but it just got so busy. And when you're making something for someone else, you need to be able to concentrate.
Yeah.
So since I wasn't able to do that, I'm getting a late start for her, but it's wool and it wouldn't be appropriate for summer anyway, so
Yeah.
she'll
Yeah.
hopefully have it in time for when the weather changes.
Yeah. I recently purchased I've been stalking the Plucky Knitters designer um discount thread. And so I recently purchased from Amy Miller the sweater James.
Oh,
It's
I've heard
have
of
you
that
seen
one.
it? Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't
It's
Diane of Knittables going to make that sweater?
I don't know if she was.
I think she might have ripped it out.
She may have. It's basically almost I would say it's like a crew neck, just pull over. I don't
No,
know.
it has
I
no
don't want to do it
shaping.
injustice. No shit. It's very plain.
Do you
But
have a picture?
um I don't, but I could probably pull one up as we talk.
Yeah.
It's very I feel like the Louise is certainly something that I'm capable of doing as a first sweater. Like I feel like it's something that I look at it and I feel like it's not super complicated. Like it's certainly like if it's medium complication level, I could probably do it.
Hmm.
Um, especially since I'm not really I've never done a sweater before, an adult size sweater. Um, but I think that the James is definitely something that I could do. My friend Julie was saying to me, "You're going to be so bored with the stockinette," and it's funny because she may be right, but I feel like I feel like I almost have to do that in order to like learn about the construction. Like Like I feel like with the socks, like I had to do a plain vanilla stockinette sock to understand this is how you do a toe, this is how you do the foot, this is how you do the gusset, this is how, like the construction. So in my mind, because I'm very methodical, like I'm a math person by, by nature, so I feel like I have to in my like with my hands I have to do certain things in order to then be confident that I could.
You need the progression
I do. I need
from
to.
beginner to
Yes.
intermediate. Okay.
Like I did four. You look at my project page. I did a cowl that was, I believe it was an Amy Miller. Um, it was an Amy Miller, I think, cowl, and I did four of them, and it was striped, but I did four of them in a row, and it was the same cowl, and it was long. I did one for myself, one for my mother, and then two little ones for each of my girls. I mean, it was literally stockinette. The only thing that kept me going was that it was changing colors. It wasn't boring to me. Like to me, it was like the process of getting through it and knowing that I was going to have four that was going to match. That when we were in public together, people were going to say, "Oh, that's your mother. Those are your children. Those the grandma." Like, oh, to me, that was what was getting me through. So for me, the fact that I'm going to have a finished sweater that I could say this was my first sweater, and yes, this is something that got me through.
And then they're gonna say, "You're lying about this being your first sweater, liar, liar, pants on fire."
I hope so. I hope so. So let me see if I can find the jeans. Do you have anything else you want to talk about while I find it? Because it might take,
Sure. You
might
want to
take,
hear what happened to me when I got home from California?
sure.
I go outside in my backyard and there's like paint, a pink Pepto Bismol splattered everywhere. On the cushions, on the chaise lounge,
Who did it?
on my umbrella, all over the back patio, the house. And I was like, that's not Pepto Bismol.
What is
That's
it?
a paintball.
Who did it?
Jason was in Washington, so I was like, I'm not going to threaten his life while
Yeah.
he's in Washington. I'm going to clean this mess up and I'm going to put my furniture inside and I'll talk to him when he gets home.
Wow.
I go out the next day, blam!
Again?
More! Only
Different
it's
color?
only it's worse. It's still pink. Only it's worse this time. I'm
And is it paint?
unexploded paint pellets.
It's
I
paint.
was like, who is shooting at my house? So I look at the fence that separates my yard from my neighbor's yard, and there's some pink pellets stuck in the fence. I go over there, calm as can be, and knock on the door. And I said, the young lady answers, I swear to you, if she was 20, if she was a day. And
Wow.
a little boy, and they come to the door, and I said, does someone here have a paint gun? Have you been shooting in the backyard? And she turns her head and looks around like she didn't know what I was talking about. And then this big guy comes out of the back. I mean, he's huge, and he's got this big wild hair. And I said, were you shooting a paint gun? That's what he did. And I said, well, you've blasted my house twice. You got my furniture, which is cloth and not plastic, my umbrella. There's paint splattered all over my back patio. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't think the bullets went through the fence. I don't know math from anything. But if you shoot 100 bullets and none of them land in your yard,
I
that
know.
means they landed in somebody else's yard. Am I right? You just froze. Are you there?
I'm here. Yep. Did we get cut off?
Yes.
We just literally just got cut off then.
Okay, so anyhow, it's recording again.
Okay.
So I don't know where I left off, but yeah.
Oh my gosh. So what was the upshot? What did he say?
He says, I'm so sorry. I said, if you're going to shoot pink on, you got to find a different target.
And what time you coming over to clean up my umbrella?
No, I
He's not gonna clean it?
no.
Are you gonna send him a bill?
It washes away,
Oh, okay.
and it did wash
Oh,
away.
good. Okay.
What I
So it
should
was
have
flushed.
done was picked up the unexploded ones and shot them back at the house. I didn't. But
I would have.
anyway, yeah, paint all over everything. So now the summer furniture is, of course, away because I put it away when I got back from my
Yeah.
vacation. Summer is definitely over.
No.
Sad to see it go, but yes, now it's time for knitting warm
I
things.
know.
I'll be
Speaking of
happy.
warm things, I found the James. So I'm gonna try and I think this might be probably
Oh,
the
yeah,
best.
yeah, yeah.
So it has like it's literally stockinette.
Uh-huh.
So I actually got it in a similar color, red. Don't
Mm-hmm.
ask me why.
I think
Again,
they call that a scoop neck.
yes, a scoop neck. I think you're right. So we'll see.
Yay!
I'm not gonna look as good as Amy Miller is so pretty. Oh my gosh, yes. She is like the cutest thing ever. Um, so yeah, so um, I'm hoping that that might, that might be. I think I'm due to get that order soon. So maybe I'll start it when I get it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see my what I have on the needles at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I have very small projects on my needles right now. I haven't really touched the Ashburn lately,
Mm-hmm.
which is the that shawl that I've been working on. I haven't really touched it. I maybe did like 2 rows, so I haven't showed you that. But
Wow.
that's going to be a long-term thing anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, I have three things that are needle adjacent, and I could change my mind about any of it, so I'm not even going to say anything. In the
yeah.
meantime, what I am going to talk about is the holiday knit along and remind everybody that there's some tough woolen soaps in the
Yes, I'm
offering.
going to put this in for my entry because I already gifted, this is my knit along. I already get it's a
Yeah, you
holiday.
you go right ahead. I hope the Christmas fairy brings you something. I put a
I
link.
want this. I'm hoping to win this one. The one right there. Wait, stop moving it. This one, I hope I win. That one right there.
This one.
Yeah. Or
Not.
this,
It
or that.
says. Look. It says not yours.
All right, maybe that one. That one.
That says not yours too. I tried to win a prize. You didn't let me win. I got something for you though. Anyhow, Tuft Woolens, Martha at Tuft Woolens was kind enough to donate
Yeah.
some for prizes, and if you put your entry in there, we're gonna do the random number draw.
Yep.
One post per person.
Yep.
Must be a member of the group. Actually, one post per
Or,
project.
yeah. So according to Sharon, if she was eligible, she would have 3 entries
Listen, I did
already.
I did three things for holiday knitting.
Right.
I
So
would
she
put
would
them in there, and I would want to win a prize, and I would go to your house to pick it up.
right. That's right.
And no shame in my game. So I think that's it for us. And
That's it.
outside of that little blip that we had, just in case it got left out, the pink paint is gone. It got washed away in last night's rain, or was it
You
the
weren't
night
missing
before? You
anything.
weren't missing
Got the
anything.
guy next door was just big and burly,
And
and Sharon
scary
was like,
looking.
"You're not scaring me."
Go get
She was
that.
like, "Your pink is so pink. You're not
What's,
scaring
how
me."
manly could he be with a paintball gun with pink paint pills? Hello.
I got needles bigger than you.
I got muscles. I got a six pack in the back.
Don't make me bring my spinning wheel next time.
Oh no, I'm gonna bring my lotion that they wouldn't let me,
Don't
my dangerous lotion. I'm gonna bring that next time and squirt him to death.
don't you make me spindle next to you. That thing will fly up, poke your eyes out.
I know. I used to tell Jason, stay out of the kill zone. You're in the kill zone. Get out of my room. Because I was so good at spinning with a drop spindle. So I'm going to Rhinebeck I'm also gonna have to, you know, see one of
Represent.
these years. I'm gonna have to find a way to drag you.
You might. You might.
Whatever.
You might. We'll see. I mean, my son's birthday's around that time,
I
so
know.
he's always, you know,
I
he's
know.
always going to get older. So whatever. Like I can miss one.
Maybe not before he turns 15, when he doesn't want to see you anymore. He'll be like, Mom, I'm actually
Oh,
going to my friend's house.
going
So,
out with my girlfriend. Duh.
well, it could be like my son. He told me he's never moving out. Yay! Happy, happy, joy, joy. Stay forever. You're not ruining my life. I want to see your face every day, good, bad, and ugly days. It's like, I think it's against my religion to kill
Yeah.
myself. He said he thinks a good round number to move out is age 39. And then, even then, he says, why can't me and my wife live here?
Yeah.
Something to
As
look
long as,
forward to.
yeah.
Yay!
No. Yeah, exactly. No
Yeah. So that's
thanks.
it. We're blib blabbering. So we will see you in 2 weeks.
Two,
Like
two.
always. Yep.
Yep. Bye,
Thanks for
guys.
joining us.
Yep. Have a
Bye.
great couple weeks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.